Welcome to Dominant Mets Nation. And where, you know what? Our New York Mets are playing great baseball, taking the last 3 out of 4 games against playoff teams, folks. Playoff teams. These are the teams we will be playing in the playoffs. And before we went to City Field, and before we were going to match up against the Orioles, the question is, could we beat these teams? Could we basically withstand this 10-game series? And by the end of the 10-game series, will we still be in a tight playoff race? And I'll tell you, folks, we needed to take the last 3 out of the 4 games from the Orioles and yesterday against the Padres, where we played phenomenal. That was a phenomenal game. It was a phenomenal game the game before that when Sean Manaea pitched, when Jose Butto came in and Edwin Diaz came in to close it out. The last game against the Orioles, we've had a couple really good clutch performances, and we needed all of this because the Braves decided to be the Braves. Ever since they had Austin Riley, their third baseman, go out, and who's a phenomenal player. Now the Braves decide to uplift their game. So there's been a lot of pressure on the Mets, a lot of pressure. And the question is, will the New York Mets be able to answer the bell? Would they be able to answer the bell? Thus far, the answer is emphatically yes. Yes. We are a game and a half behind the Atlanta Braves still. And if we would have lost 2 out of 2, if we would have lost 2 more games, there were games we could have lost. We could have lost games in the Orioles series. We could have came out and laid an egg last night. And at the end of the day, it would have been like, well, it's a playoff team. The Orioles are really good. The Padres were really hot. They were coming in, winning 22 out of the last 28. The Orioles, they were in second place, first place the entire year. Both phenomenal teams. And the Mets were playing kind of crappy against the Marlins and coming into this series. We weren't playing great. We were playing mediocre. But the Mets decided to step up their level of play. The Mets decided to be clutch. Pete Alonso decided to get 3 hits. He decided to have a better approach. We decided to not expand the strike zone. We decided to make our lineup a gauntlet. We decided to make it tough for guys like Dylan Cease to face our guys. We were not easy outs yesterday. We had 17 hits against a very good team, a very good bullpen, a very good starter. Dylan Cease, the last time we played him, had 7 earned runs against us. Yesterday, 3 earned runs. He went 6 innings, 6 and a third innings, and it was very difficult for him. Very difficult. We started off the game hot. Francisco Lindor, double. Mark Vientos, double. Already on the board. And that is so important to come out of the damn gate scoring. So important, especially against a team like the Padres. A team 2 years ago that knocked us out of the playoffs. There are 2 teams I want to beat, the Padres and the Braves. Those teams, we need revenge. So we're going to get more into the coverage. If you could like and subscribe, if you are a passionate baseball fan, Dominant Mets Nation is the home of passionate baseball fans. If that sounds like it's for you, join. Okay, so to get into it, last night, and we're going to get into today's matchup. As you see on below, we have Blackburn versus Musgrove, and I'm going to get into that matchup. But last night, we got to go over some key moments of the game. We already said in the first inning, the Mets started off great. And in the 4th inning was a very key inning as well. Very key for a couple of reasons. Because it really, that 4th inning showed how important this game is for the Mets. So it started off like this. In the 4th inning, Pete Alonso hits a fly ball, 1 out. Second guy up, Jesse Winker. Jesse's hitting about 300 with the Mets thus far. He hits a ball through the right side, ground ball single. Next guy, Jose Iglesias smokes a double to the left center field gap, and it was a ground rule double, unfortunately. If it was a regular double and bounced against the wall, Winker would have scored and made it 2-0. But alas, it was a ground ball double. It made the situation second and third with one out. Francisco Alvarez was at the plate, and we know Francisco Alvarez is struggling. So there is really no guarantee that even if it's second and third with only one out, that Francisco Alvarez would do the job. So Francisco Alvarez was hanging in there. Luckily, Luis Campusano, the catcher of the Padres, decides it's a good idea to play on one knee. Next pitch, pass ball. Winker comes down the line and scores easily. I won't understand it for the life of me. Very important game. Let's lapsadaisically stand or sit on one knee. I don't know why catchers do this. I have no clue. I know it probably is more comfortable, but is it worth the risk of losing the ball game, losing your job? Whatever. We took advantage of it. The Mets scored. It made the situation 2-0. After that, Francisco Alvarez continued to work the at-bat, and he eventually lined out to the first baseman. It was a very good at-bat, but considering circumstances, him not getting the ball to the outfield, we wouldn't have scored the run in that situation. Okay, so at this point right now, Jeff McNeil is up, and the Squirrel hit a ball to the second base side, but the shortstop, he was closer to the ball. He runs, he fields the ball, throws to first base, and the Squirrel beat it out. Hustle, determination. Really, that was all effort by Jeff, by him squeaking that out, sending a message to the guy like, let's go. This is super, super important for us to get going. We were able to score an additional run. So luckily, we were up 3-0. Dylan Cease would go another inning, and the Padres would score one run in the fifth. That would eventually be Luis Severino's last inning, but Luis Severino threw a very valiant game. Coming off of that complete game shutout, we didn't know how much he had in the tank. I don't think he was fully ready to go, but in the heat of this season, we needed a very, very strong performance, and we got it. In 5 innings, to a very good lineup, he only gave up 5 hits, 1 earned run. He had 5 strikeouts, but he put us in a very good position to win the game. So, the game till the 9th inning had really not too much action. The Mets would go on to pummel the Padres, scoring 5 runs in the 9th. And Padres scored 2, but the game was out of reach. I give shout outs to Vientos, had 2 hits in this game. Lindor, 2 hits. Alonso, 3 hits. Winker, 2 hits. Iglesias, 2 hits. McNeil, 2 hits. Taylor, 2 hits. This was a drubbing. This was the type of game that you go and you put your mark on it. Like, we are a damn playoff team. We belong. We are better than you. And this is the game I like because we are competing with Sandiego. Sandiego is currently ahead of us in the standings. And I'm not giving up on Arizona and Sandiego. I want to be in those seedings. I don't want to be in the 3rd wild card spot. I'll take it. I'll take it to get in, but I don't want to be in that spot. Okay, so let's get to tonight's matchup. I like the way we're playing. We've had a lot of magic in the last week. Severino complete game, Alvarez home run, Winker home run, clutch home run. Yesterday, drubbing a very good team who had, like I said, they won 22 out of the last 28 games. Give them credit. They are doing very, very well. They were aggressive at the trade deadline. You got to give credit where credit's due, but that's where I give my team more credit. Okay, so tonight's matchup, like I mentioned several times, we have Blackburn going up against Musgrove. So, and right off the bat, I might as well tell you this. Tomorrow's pitching performance is Peterson against Michael King. And then on Sunday, it's going to be tough. We have Quintana against Perez. So this is our opportunity right now. This is our opportunity. We need, in my opinion, Sunday, Sunday, Quintana, he's really been struggling. Let's just put it like that. But the good thing about Sunday is we're going up against Martin Perez, who has been struggling as well. Today, we're going up against Joe Musgrove. And folks, he's been struggling. He's 3-4 with a 4.97 ERA, 51 strikeouts. He's had limited play this year because he's had back injuries. And the focus for the Padres is to make sure he doesn't overexert himself. He doesn't overexert himself. So the Mets have a golden opportunity. Work the guy. Make the guy throw pitches. He has a 5 earned run average. And get into that bullpen early. You make them utilize that bullpen. I know they have a good bullpen. That is why in game 2 of a 4-game series, you look at it strategically. The earlier you get into that bullpen, the more guys you can knock out for later in the series. So hopefully you do damage early on against Musgrove, continue to make them work, have the bullpen come in early, make them utilize their bullpen more than what they want to, and hopefully later in the series, that'll come back to benefit you. So that is the approach. You make Musgrove work. You try to knock him out early. You take advantage of a guy who is supposedly weakened by a back injury. That's what you do. You see blood in the water and you attack. Blackburn, he's coming up a very good start against the Marlins, and he needed that start. Obviously, we know the start before that, he did horrendous against the Oakland A's, and a lot of that is because Oakland, they knew what type of pitcher he was. They knew his approach. They knew his repertoire. That's fine. That's fine. Today, Blackburn has to mix up his pitches. He needs to not walk and give free passes, and he needs to hit his location, hit his spots. He will be successful. And, the Mets, I would say for us to be successful today, we have to at least score 4 runs, 4 or more runs, preferably 5. It'll look like a win. But when we score 4 or more runs, we are a lot more likely to win. Hopefully our guys continue to stay hot. Last night we were really hot. From Lindor down to Alonso, Vientos, everybody, McNeil, everybody was hot. Let's keep that going, keep that mojo going. I think right now, towards the end of August, we are seeing the end of the rainbow right now. The dog days of August are over. Now it is downhill. It is downhill to the playoffs. And this is what I like. And if the Braves are going to, take their game to the next level, and it looks like they are, okay, that's fine, folks. We can knock out the Padres. We can still knock out the Diamondbacks. We have these teams in front of us. We play the Padres 4 games. We take at least 3 out of 4, preferably 4 out of 4. But I got to be realistic. I always say that. I got to be realistic. Okay, well, let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about last night, how you feeling about our Mets. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling extremely good. Let's keep this positive energy going. Thank you so much for watching. Let's go Mets. Like and subscribe to all you Mets fans, baseball fans. Thank you again for sticking with me. I appreciate all the comments. We always got great stuff on our channel.